Next, we come to the aviation sector. Uh, India has one of the fastest growing domestic aviation market, and it has posted the fastest year-on-year growth for 4 years in a row in 2018. So India has air connectivity with around 59 countries through 344 routes, and it has 91 international carriers, out of which 5 are domestically owned. The aviation market in India is projected to be third globally by 2024. With the growth of the aviation sector, we will also see a tremendous growth in the MRO, that is maintenance, repair and overhaul facilities. 6 new airports has received approval for leasing out under the PPP mode, that is Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Guwahati and Thiruvananthapuram and Mangalore. There will be a greater focus on infrastructure development such as open sky policy and AAI's drive for modernization of airports and air navigation in the coming years. Apart from this, the technology that has been employed in the airport sector is we have the Gagan, which is a satellite-based navigation system, a satellite-based augmentation system. It will provide additional accuracy for safety in civil aviation and has expansion capability for seamless navigation services across all geographies. So Gagan will basically help in safe navigation, and it will help in enhancing capacity for providing. It will provide navigation services and safe civil aviation facilities. Also, there is a no objection certificate application scheme in order to give clearances for building airports. We have the e-governance for civil aviation, which offers licenses and regulatory processes of the DGCA is taken looked after by this e-governance for civil aviation. Next, some statistics. India has the fastest growing aviation market, as told, and it is one of the least penetrated air markets in the world, with annual domestic seats per capita only 0.08 in March 2018, which is very low compared to developing countries like other developing countries like China, Brazil, or developed countries. So a question might come in the context of the aviation sector in India. Which of the following statements are correct? One, India has one of the least penetrated air markets in the world. Second statement is the aviation sector is likely to become the third largest sector aviation market by 2024. So which of the following is correct? 1, 2, both, none. The answer will be both are correct. And FDI, we have 100% FDI in the airport sector for both greenfield and brownfield. So if the question comes where one of the statement is we have 100% FDI under automatic route only in greenfield projects in the aviation sector, the answer is wrong, because we have it for greenfield as well as brownfield projects. And in air transport services, we have 49% under the automatic route, beyond which we need government approval. And in case of non-scheduled air transport services in helicopter, seaplane, etc., which require DGCA approval, 100% FDI is allowed under the automatic route. Now, other services under the civil aviation sector like the MRO sector, etc. In the MRO sector also 100% FDI is allowed under the automatic route. So except air transport services, there is 100% FDI allowed under automatic route in every subcomponent of the aviation sector. Now the schemes that we have, first is the UDAN scheme, which is the Ure Desh Ka Aam Nagarik, which has 2 phases, which was launched in 2 phases, 1.0 and 2.0, which aims to connect 66 airports and 31 heliports across the country. And the third phase is UDAN 3.0, under which 235 routes were awarded for 16 unserved airports, 17, but this is not important. Next, we have the Nav Nirman scheme, which was announced in the budget of 2018-19. So the aim of this scheme is airport capacity enhancement by more than 5 times to handle 1 billion trips a year. And the expansion is planned to be funded by leveraging the balance sheet of AAI. So it will be funded from the AAI proceeds, the Airport Authority of India proceeds. And apart from this, we have the under the MRO component, we have different initiatives like the tool and tool kits used by the MRO has been exempted from customs duty. Also, the restriction of 1 year for utilization of duty-free parts, this has been extended to 3 years. Also, the import of unserviceable parts by MROs for providing exchange and advance exchange. The notice has been revised to enable advance export. So, the MROs can import the serviceable parts along with the non-serviceable parts. So this is not all very important. Financial support for ground handling MRO, cargo and ATF, including heliport license, etc. They are all covered under the harmonized list of infrastructure under the National Civil Aviation Policy. So this will make them eligible to get the benefits offered for infrastructure. Also under the regional connectivity scheme, that is the UDAN scheme, there will be revival of airstrips, nose frills airport. Then there will be demand-driven selection of airport and airstrips for their revival. There will be viability gap funding to the airline operators, reduced service tax on tickets and reduced excise duty on ATF at these RCS airports. So this is all about the aviation sector. And among the achievements, FDI grew 5 times in the air transport sector. Next, we'll go to the National Aviation Policy. Okay, and we'll cover the National Aviation Policy in the separate video. Thank you.